G'day Spurs fans, Paul Hotspur hippie here, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet, and I've got Carabao Cup fever, or League Cup fever. Let's leave all the capitalism to one side. League Cup fever. And after the results in the other three quarterfinals this morning, can't really say the competition has opened up for Tottenham, but it looks like the big boys made a bit of a meal of it. Maybe Newcastle had an easier time beating Brentford 3-1. Arsenal 3, Crystal Palace 2, not too flash. Liverpool 2, Southampton 1. You remember that little old team we beat 5-0 the other day? Well, Liverpool could only scrape by with a 2-1 win. So that, by my reckoning, means we're going to beat Liverpool 4-0 on the weekend. But the next game is against Manchester United in about 17 hours time, something like that. I'm looking forward to it. Who knows what sort of Manchester United are going to turn up. They've been bit up and down since Amorim took over. I've heard conflicting reports about their escapade against Manchester City. Some people saying they weren't very good, some people saying they were all right. 2 late goals got them the win against Manchester City. Of course, we beat Manchester City easier than that twice this year. In fact, our aggregate score against Manchester teams this year is 10-1, which I reckon is pretty cool. I think we could add another 3 or 4 onto that. And if we get over the line against Manchester City, we're only 180 minutes away from a potential cup final, because the semi-finals in the League Cup are home and away, bit old school. They got rid of, back in the day, or maybe a couple of years ago, all rounds were 2-leggers in the League Cup, but not now, it's just the semi-finals. So if we get through, it's going to be either Newcastle, Liverpool or Arsenal, so it's tricky. But if your name's written on the cup, it doesn't matter who you draw, I reckon, and I can't wait for the kick-off. Ange is at his press conference, and he kind of pulled a journalist up, because a journalist made a point of saying, "Ange, you keep saying you win in your second year," and Ange set him straight, said, "No, you just keep asking that question. I'm not saying that." To which, of course, the journalist, instead of standing his ground like a noble scribe, bottled it and went, "Yeah, right, Ange," and then just carried on with something else anyway. Because that's really not wound me up, but I think it's very disappointing the way so many people are running with that line, that Ange has definitely said he will definitely win a cup in his second year, and he's never said it. He's just been asked about history. You've always won a cup in your second year. Well, it's true, but he's never drawn the further bow to say that means I'm definitely going to win something this year. He's never said that. It becomes the norm, isn't it, when these things spread around? So I'm glad Ange pulled the journalist up on that, but unfortunately that's not going to be something that gets reported, because what always happens with these press conferences, people will take a little sentence here and a little sentence there, and blow them up all proportion. I even see, Spurs YouTube sites as well as TalkSport doing the same thing, just to suit their own agenda, and it's very disappointing. I'd suggest any Spurs fan go and watch the press conferences. I've always watched them, no matter who the manager is. Sometimes I've looked forward to them more than others, but there's nothing like hearing the words from the horse's mouth, and then it becomes very interesting to see how people are twisting and turning the words to suit themselves. So you got to see the press conferences yourself. What Ange is hoping for from the game, he's hoping that the fans inside the ground create a super fortress of indestructibility. He didn't say that. I'm just making that bit up, but that's what he kind of alluded to. See, even I twist his words. He didn't even say that though. But yeah, he was talking about how we've had some tough away games recently, especially in Europe at Galatasaray and Rangers, and he would love for White Hart Lane to be one of those venues that's nigh on impossible for someone to come and visit and get something away, take something away from us. So I've got every hope of that. The last game against away at Southampton, the support was really good. I really enjoy listening to it. I wish there was an option on digital streaming TV where you could just have a special channel with no commentary, just the sound of the crowd. Because the commentary really winds me up these days. It's usually 3 people on the panel and they're just analysing the game as it goes. And I long for the days of like Brian Moore or John Motson, who would just say who's got the ball and what they're doing, that's about it. Nothing too fancy, nothing too insightful, just letting you know what's going on. And you can guarantee by watching a game with that sort of commentary, even on a crappy 4x3 TV with a fuzzy reception, by the end of the game you'll know the names of every player and who looks good and who doesn't. But at the moment they're talking so much about what might be and what could be and what they should do that they don't focus on the players, which for an old duffer like myself is frustrating because I've no idea who's playing. I'm flat out recognising Spurs players half the time. But the kickoff tomorrow is at 7 a.m, which is another lovely time for me. Very sedate. It's almost like a lie-in. And so I'll be doing a watch-along tomorrow morning, folks. I'll be starting the watch-along half an hour before kickoff. As usual, proper old-school commentary. Well, it's not. It's just me talking a load of old rubbish. But it's been fun. I've really enjoyed doing them this season. And I'm hoping that we can continue some sort of fight that we've been showing. We showed some fight against Rangers. We showed some good technique and skill against Southampton. I'm hoping we'll back up okay. That's the worry I've got, because a lot of the players be playing yet again, and you know, they've had a little bit of a rest, but not too much of one. The injury front is still a bit worrying for Spurs, but it looks like perhaps January in the new year is when we'll start to feel the burden of that sort of stuff eased up a bit. It looks like the next cab. Well, Mikey Moore's back running around, so that's really good news. And like Ange said, he would have been playing way more if he wasn't injured. And then Ben Davies looks like he's coming good. Mickey van der Ven wasn't a serious injury like last time. Romero, Richie, probably all back in January. So we've got a couple of tricky games to get through. This one tomorrow morning, Liverpool, Nottingham Forest could be a curly one as well. And then hopefully we'll start to see the pain fade away a little bit. And we've also got Yang Min-hyuk in the country, who's just lurking around Tottenham Hotspur at the moment. He can't even officially look at a football, let alone kick one, because you've got to wait till January the 1st before he's registered. I don't know if there's some sort of Jimmy Hoffa style Teamster rules around that, but I think Ange was someone at Spurs. It might have been Ange actually, because I'm getting confused. He did a press conference, and I also saw him do an interview with Clive Allen and some other Spurs bod. I wasn't really listening to him. I was just hearing what Clive Allen was saying, because I saw most of his 49 goals that he scored in 1987 live, and it was fantastic. But yeah, so Ange was at pains at some point to say Yang can't actually do anything until the 1st of January. But he's in the building. He is in the building, lurking around. Look, I'm going to go for 4-0 tomorrow morning. I think we're going to smash them. I think Amorim is stumbling into the same dressing room drama that other managers before him have not been able to sort out. He's taking a different approach, but who knows, man, if he's got the gumption to sort it out. I don't know yet. Ten Hag definitely wasn't, and I picked him from the get-go. What I might do is watch an Amorim press conference, and I'll just judge him purely on that and see if I like the cut of his jib or not. I probably won't, because he's dirty Manchester United. So 4-0. If you want to watch the watch-along, well, you can just watch it, or you can click like or subscribe. That's really what you want to do, subscribe. And it'll let you know when I'm going live tomorrow morning. But all to play for. Till next time, folks. Peace and love, man, and come on, you Spurs.